If you want to get more reach on your social media, get more engagement and more sales as a result of that, then this is the video for you. How you doing, everyone? My name is Jamie. I'm going to keep this really brief and to the point. However, if you do get value, I would absolutely love it if you do drop a comment and a like. That would just help me out massively. And of course, feel free to subscribe if you want to stick around for this type of content moving forward. So the question was raised last night. I was actually cruising through old interwebs and someone asked a question relating to how to get more engagement on their posts. And so I answered, and this is effectively what I told them. The way that I view the engagement on any algorithm, so it doesn't matter if it's Facebook or Instagram or probably even the tubes over here as well, pretty much the same thing operates for all of them that I've seen, at least anyway. Now, you can, of course, put out content that it gets tons of engagement, goes viral, all that type of stuff. I personally find that really hard. I haven't actually had anything go super viral before, to be perfectly honest. So in my mind, there's actually an easier way to get that engagement that you need in order to start getting more sales from your social media content. How do you do that? Well, the way that I like to view it is, if you think about Facebook in particular as being like a topographical map, right? So you're looking down on Facebook being this huge map, and you are at one side of the map and you're the entity of yourself, so you're your own personal brand or page, whatever it is, right? And effectively, if you think about, okay, you've got all these prospects that are just kind of roaming around, and some of them are like headless chickens running around, as it were, and your job is basically to get in front of those people. Now, what you can do is spend around about 20 minutes per day. It certainly doesn't take that long, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home, on your couch, on your phone, whatever it is, right? It doesn't take a bunch of effort to do this, and it's something really, really simple to get more visible. If you look at your topographical map and you go out there and you're scrolling through your news feed and you happen to see someone's post that intrigues you, you can like it, you can leave a relevant comment on that post, right? Relevant comment on that post. Now, one other little thing I will say is make sure that the content is recent and also relevant as well. So if it's something like a bikini photo from 2017, you might not want to comment on that. You just seem like a weirdo. But if it's something that is recent and relevant to your business, then by all means, feel free to comment. Make sure it's something that is better than, thumbs up or whatever. Like give it some thought if you can. Make it meaningful for that person to engage in dialogue and whatnot as well. Now, what that'll do is, going back to our map analogy, is if we're looking down on that, if you think of this as like staking a claim in a gold mine, so every time you put a comment out there, you're effectively planting a flag on this topographical map. Now, two things really cool happen at this point. If you keep doing this for a little while, what you're going to see is basically you get more visibility. So if you imagine that your prospects are cruising through this map and they start seeing these little flags everywhere because you've been dotting them all out with your comments and all that type of stuff, they start to see more and more and more and more of you, right? So you're getting more visibility, number one. The second thing that happens, and this has a flow-on flywheel effect, is some of those people that you've been engaging with, they will start to see your content more and more and more, because that's how the algorithm shows your content. When they do, some of them will reciprocate your engagement and start to comment on your content. Now, when they do that, what does that mean? That means that from a social proof standpoint, you have a post with a bunch of comments on it. And when you have a bunch of comments, what that does is actually push that content further and further out to the algorithm to more and more and more people. That's why when you see a certain post, maybe you've had an anniversary or a birthday or some sort of huge life event, and what you'll find is that's usually the ones that get a ton of engagement. And what happens is sometimes days or even weeks later, you're still getting like, hey, happy birthday, hey, congratulations on your wedding anniversary, things like that, because more and more people have been seeing it, and friends of those people will see it more as well, right? Now, what I will say before I get lambasted in the comments here is getting engagement doesn't equate to getting cash, right? It's not like get a like and get some loot. Likes aren't loot, as I like to tell my students. However, what it does do is provide a couple of things, like I say, reach, right? So you're going to get more impressions overall. You're also going to have more touch points with your audience, so they're going to see you more. They're going to more likely consume your content, which is what you want ideally. And also, social proof of having comments on your posts. If you look at two different profiles back to back, one has like 0 engagement, one has 1,000 comments per post, then which one's going to be more powerful in your mind? Which one are you going to be swayed with? And this is social proof and how we can engineer it, right? So if you do this for a couple of weeks, what will happen is you'll start to get a ton of likes, a ton of comments, and more importantly, a ton of reach and visibility content. When you do, and especially when you start putting out offers, you're actually putting it in front of people that are already engaged in your content. They're more likely to respond, to DM you, to drop comments asking for free lead magnets, things like that. And that is how you can get more visibility and more sales through. Hope this helps, guys. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this?